Hello everyone, so I'm doing a survival video for China today. I think we're going to go to a park and do that, but before I go, I want to go buy a snowboarding helmet so I can put this on before I go there, because yeah, it hasn't been looking, my bike has not been looking so good with its GoPro strapped to the handlebars, so yeah, just finishing coffee, then I'll be on my way. I think I like this one the best. So we went drinking last night and it got a bit out of hand. So when I got up in the morning I felt fine, and as the day is going on I'm slowly starting to feel more and more hungover, but honestly nothing seems to sort out a hangover like real Chinese food. So I'm just gonna eat lunch and then look at which park I want to go to, and then I'll be on my way there shortly. Finally made it to the park. This is going to be a basic list of things that you should do when you get here and things that you should bring, like very basic stuff. So it's not a lot of it, some of it is necessary, some of it isn't. You can decide, what you feel is necessary and isn't. But if you could do all of these things, it would make your life a lot easier and better. Once you've got all of your stuff sorted and you're on your way here, before you go, I really think that you go to your doctor and ask them for medication, like certain things that you bring up here. It's kind of hard when you get here, you're adapting to a new environment, and you could get sick, and it's kind of stressful here, adapting and all of that. So the things that I rate you should get are antibiotics, probiotics, antihistamines, sleeping pills, antifungal cream. Antifungal cream is definitely the most important. You should definitely have that when you come here. Yeah, floor's kind of dirty, foot infection, high possibility. Basic rules for staying healthy. Don't wear shoes inside your apartment. If you walk outside with your shoes, don't wear them inside. Wear socks inside, take your shoes off. The outside people spit a lot, and you have a good chance of getting a foot infection on your floor. And it's a bit difficult. If you're living with someone, it's kind of hard to organize because maybe they're a bit lazier, but I would recommend not wearing shoes in your house and like sterilizing your floors once a week. And then don't lean on things as well. Generally outside things are a bit dirtier than they're, I find it compared to South Africa, and getting infections quite easy because of the spitting. You should definitely download Google Translate. Very good app, but make sure you get the offline operation. So download it so that you don't need to connect to the internet for it to work. Download your VPN before you come. It's a bit difficult too once you get here. Air quality index China, you'll need that for when you go outside. Like the air pollution is quite bad today. I'd say it's about 170, maybe 200 if I look to that side of the art. It's a bit foggy. TripAdvisor is good, especially if you want to do the touristy things like the park and stuff. Usually there are a lot of temples around China that are quite nice to see. Then the last thing is, if you have an iPhone, if you're looking for a phone before you go, iPhones are definitely better, and the reason for that is there's no English map that works on this side of the world aside from Apple Maps. So Google Maps doesn't work here, which is a serious pain in the ass. And then all of the mapping systems that you can download for China, usually Baidu Maps, which is the Chinese Google, has no English operation. So Apple Maps is quite nice. It's able to tell me which bus to get on, which subway to get on, which line on the subway to get on if I want to go anywhere. It really works the best out of everything. Google Maps doesn't work. So if you can get an iPhone, rather bring it, and don't buy it here. Buy it in the country that you're in, then bring it here, because all the phones here have no access to Google products. Now, this last rule applies specifically to the teachers. When you get paid, okay, from my understanding, I haven't heard of anybody else that has this except for a few that have asked for it specifically, but you get paid on the 15th. Now, when you get here, everybody thinks, okay, I started working in September, then I'll get paid on the 15th of September. It doesn't work like that. So when you start work, when I started work in September, I thought I was going to be paid in September because I started work on the 2nd of September. But you only get paid for the next month's work in that year, in that period. So I only got paid for my work in September in October, on the 15th of October. Which is kind of confusing, because I got here and I thought, wow, everything's so cheap here, and I started spending a lot, and then the 15th of September came and no money came into my account, and they just kind of explained to me it's normal, this is how things work here, and none of them tell you this. All of my friends have been caught out on this thing, so be very careful of that. In relation to how much things cost on this side of the world, food, stupid cheap. No cheese and no beef. Those things are very difficult to come by, and if you do find them, they're usually very expensive. So chicken, noodles, stuff like that it's stupid cheap. It's a third of the price to eat here compared to South Africa, and that's the only reference I really have. Things that are expensive though, lip ice is expensive, and deodorant is stupid expensive on this side. Why it is, I have no idea. And then everything else is pretty much cheap. Transport's cheap. My e-bike now, 50 RMB. I've almost used the full 50 RMB for when I got the charging card, and 50 RMB has transported me more than 800 kilometers, which is just stupid to do that. I would have easily spent more if I was taking the subway or the bus wherever I went. That's everything that I can think of. If you got any questions, comment section below. Good job. I've been in the park for about 20 minutes now making the video, and I thought I came here because I remember the park, but I actually don't think I've been here before. So I'm going to take a quick look around. Then I think I'm going to stop at Xinbai, Guangchang on the way home to go look at some electronics, because why not? And then I have a Chinese lesson at 3 o'clock again. So yeah, let's check out the park.
Standing in a glass bowl at the end of a black hole.
So I just got back from the park now. Beautiful. I've actually been to this park before. It's quite beautiful. It always blows my mind how nice the parks here are. So I'm off to Xinbai, which is the electronics place around here. It's like the computer market in the city. And I'm busy looking at buying a camera, but from what I've seen, cameras seem cheaper in South Africa than they do in China, which makes no sense, because all this stuff is either made in Taiwan or China. So I'm going to go see if they're actually cheaper in the shops maybe, but I'm not holding out much hope because that doesn't seem to be the truth. So the two things that you saw there are the little car-looking e-bikes. Well, they're not bikes, but they get to drive on the bicycle, eh? And I've had 2 accidents in the past 2 weeks because of those guys, because they just use them like bumper cars. It's brutal driving there. And then the other thing is fitting 3 people on an e-bike. That's really minimum. I often see, you'll see like a family of 4, so actually I've seen 5 people. Mom, dad, and grandma on the e-bike, and then the 2 children on there as well with the scooter. And yeah, it's absolutely crazy how these people fit everybody on e-bikes over here. But yeah, e-bike lane, dangerous but efficient. So yeah, I can't take the camera inside because they don't like videoing inside there. I can't imagine why. But yeah, let's go price these cameras quickly. So I found the camera for cheaper, which was probably the biggest mistake I've made, because now the only thing I want to do is go back and buy the bloody thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna go home, gonna go do some budgeting and see if I can afford it, can't afford it, but it seems like a really great deal. Cool, just got home. Yeah, don't know what I'm gonna do now.